So, hello everyone, welcome back to episode number 83 of the Rohit Soni Leadership Podcast. And today I have a really special guest with me right now, okay, who's a Saregama semi-finalist, who's Asha Bhat. She's just 17 years old and she's making her mark in the music industry, okay. So, here's in front of you, Asha Bhat, and I hope you should like listen to this whole podcast till the end to get massive insight of how you can start your career as a singer, maybe what the how like a singer does what they do, and how they do everything and at such a young age. Okay, so I welcome you in front of you all, Asha Bhat. Hi Asha, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm also good. Okay, and Asha, it's so good to have you on my podcast. I thought you have this special talent of singing, and I thought that you will give us so much valuable insight on our podcast regarding singing,
Thank
regarding
you.
life as well, because you are so much young right now. You're just 17, right?
Yes, sir. I'm
And I thought that
17.
I should invite someone who's so much young and who is doing so much good with her life to give us
I'm so
insight
glad.
how
I'm
we
so
can
glad to be.
good
I'm
as
so
well.
glad to be a part of your program. Thank you so much for inviting me to this program.
I appreciate the gesture. Okay, so Asha will start with few, normal questions like we always have, like few introductory questions, which gives an insight about someone who's coming for the first time, right? Okay, so the first thing,
Okay.
like I want to know, how are you? How's everything going? Where you are living and everything? How are you and everything?
You mean like the music?
Yeah, yeah. How's everything going with your music and your
Uh,
career right now?
Going good. I've been attending a few recordings, like for movies and albums, and I recently sang a song with Vijay Prakash sir. I also sang an album song with Rajesh Krishnan sir called, the album is called Alayagi Ba. And I am also going to attend a few more recordings and shows. So, yeah, pretty much great.
Okay, okay, that's great. So you have a pretty busy schedule right now, right? With your like college studies as well, right? You must be in college, right?
It gets a little hectic because I also have my preparatories going on, my
How you manage
exams.
how you manage both the things?
I guess I concentrate more on music because music is definitely my top one priority, my first priority. But I also try to manage studies.
That's great. That's great. Managing both the things at the same time takes really a toll on us because sometimes we feel like we should study or we should do what we really love to do. Okay, so Asha, let's start the podcast in a main way, and I'll first of all I want to know how everything started for you. How everything started for you? Yeah,
So basically, my mom is a singer. She's a classical singer. Uh, she has learned Carnatic classical music for a very long time, and she used to sing a lot of songs for me when I was very young. When I was 2 to 3 years old, I just sang one song which she used to sing for me, and then she felt like it sounded good. So she took me to a music class, and even I was interested. So that's how I started learning Carnatic classical music. And after that, after a few years, I started learning light music as well. And now I'm more into film music than classical or.
okay, that's great. So like just a question out of the blue, like when you first sang in front of an audience, how did you felt at that moment? You like sang in front of a lot of audience. How did you felt?
I felt very happy because to be honest, I'm not a very I don't usually I'm an extrovert. I mingle with a lot of people wherever I go. So it was very nice to get on a stage and sing. I first performed on a stage when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I just sang a very small song for an audience. It was a small audience, but it felt great. I loved connecting with people.
Okay. So if I would ask you to sing a song right away for like 2 minutes, will you do that for our audience?
Yeah, definitely. I'll
Because I
sing.
don't want to leave the best till the last. I want to, do it right away.
You told me that your favorite song is Jina Jina, so I'm going to sing
Yeah, you
that
can
song for
sing
you.
that because I really love the voice of Atif Aslam and would really like you to sing that and see how it goes, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
you can
go.
start. Let's do it like three, two,
You,
one,
you,
start.
you're free to join me as well, actually, if you want to sing along.
Like which line should I join in that case?
Any line you want to.
Okay, okay. So like you just sing it and I'll in the later part I'll do it. No issues. Okay.
Okay,
I
done.
don't want to break your rhythm there.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll start. Hmm. दहलीज पे मेरे दिल के जो रखे है तूने कदम तेरे नाम पे मेरी जिंदगी लिख दे मेरे हमदम हाँ सीखा मैंने जीना जीना कैसे जीना हाँ सीखा मैंने जीना मेरे हमदम ना सीखा कभी जीना जीना कैसे जीना ना सीखा जीना तेरे बिना हमदम हम्म, हम्म, सच्ची सी है ये तारीफें दिल से जो मैंने करी है जो तू मिला तो सजी है दुनिया मेरी हमदम ओ आसमां मिला जमीन को मेरी आधे आधे हुए हैं हम तेरे नाम पे मेरी जिंदगी लिख दे मेरे हमदम हाँ सीखा मैंने जीना जीना कैसे जीना हाँ सीखा मैंने जीना मेरे हमदम ना सीखा कभी जीना जीना कैसे जीना ना सीखा जीना तेरे बिना हमदम Thank you.
You deserve that. Absolutely. That's what I thought, but you are even doing better in life. I thought like I saw your IGTV videos of the same songs and but like in live it's much better. Okay, so you want me like should I like sing the last few lines? I'm not that much good, not
Definitely.
better
Definitely.
than you, but I'll still try.
Let's start with the stanza. The
Yeah, yeah.
first stanza.
Yeah, I'll start with the second stanza because it will take me a lot of time in that case. Okay, I'll just
Okay.
सच्ची सी हैं ये तारीफें दिल से जो मैंने करी हैं जो तू मिला तो संजी है दुनिया मेरी हमदम आसमां मिला जमी हो मेरी आधे आधे पूरे हैं हम तेरे नाम पे मेरी जिंदगी लिख दी मेरे हमदम हाँ सीखा मैंने जीना जीना कैसे जीना हाँ सीखा मैंने जीना मेरे हमदम I hope
Oh, that was
our
really
audience
interesting.
like yeah.
That was very nice. You have an
Okay.
amazing voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was just a try. But yours is much. I'll say like 10 out of 10, I'll say in my book. Okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Let's move forward. Okay. And I hope our audience who's listening to it didn't got bored because, with my song, but with your song, they must have felt majestic. Okay. So,
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
So let's move forward with the next question and a more important question. Okay. Because you have been like singing, how much years you have been singing?
I've been learning since 13 to 14 years.
13 to 14 years you have been learning. Okay. So like who has been your biggest motivation apart from your mother? Because your mother is also like a singer. So she must have been your biggest motivation. But apart from her, who has been your like biggest motivation?
Motivation in the sense I have a few role models.
Yeah, ideals. Use people you
Shreya
actually idolize.
Ghoshal ma'am and Arman Malik sir, Arjit Singh sir, and yeah, Monali Thakur.
What about
Sunidhi
KK?
Chauhan.
He's one of my favorite. KK.
Oh yeah, KK is
Have you
amazing.
have you heard his song from Rais? सांस होके किसी एक मोड़ पर सांस होके. You should.
I've heard, I've heard to that song.
Yeah, you know that is so soul. That's kind of soulful song. It's like
And his range, I mean, he has an amazing and unbeatable range,
that's
vocal
deep.
range.
You know, he's in another league. I believe he's in another league. He's
Yeah,
that
definitely.
much good at it. Okay, so like, what was the point, like, in your music career or in like in your singing career? What was the point where you thought that yeah, I'll go and I'll do this as a career right away? I'm good at it because what was that self-realization moment? I'm gonna do it, and I'm going to
Uh,
do it, and I'll go for it.
I started taking Western music training from Emmanuel Richards sir when I was in ninth grade. So he had a studio, and he used to make us sing songs in the studio. He used to just record whatever he taught us, and he used to give it to us. So the first ever recording that I experienced, or that the first recording in that studio, that made me feel like I was really capable of doing a good job in a studio, and I felt so alive when I went inside the studio, and I stood in front of the mic and I sang, because I was all alone in the room, and no one was looking at me. Of course, I could dance around the way I wanted to, and just sing my heart out. So I guess that was one experience which made me feel like I should become a playback singer.
That's great. And I saw one of your stories day before yesterday. You are also doing a new song, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Can you talk us through that?
Uh, New song in the sense you're talking about the which song are you
Like,
talking
I don't know
about, sir?
about the song, but like you told me that you were at recording one day, so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. That was the song which I recorded with Vijay Prakash sir, and after that, like there was this fellow contestant at Saregamapa called Kambadarangaya. So I recorded a song for his movie too. He was the music director for that movie. These are the two most recent recordings I have been to.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, so like, there's always, when there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, but there are always some, like challenges that we always have when we are doing anything, be it singing, be it cricket, be it business, like I do. There are always, some challenges that we always encounter that we don't often talk about because we don't like to talk about them, because we don't want to, remember the challenges that came. We just want to remember the victory that came after that, right? So, like, what do you think? What do you think were the challenges that came in front of you when you were doing? Like, I'm not saying any problem, because problems are, like, they're different, but there must be challenges that you have to overcome, right? Is there any
Definitely,
challenge you wanna
definitely.
like tell us that actually comes in almost every single career?
I did not have a very good vocal range before. I had a very narrow, limited range. Like I could not go too low or I could not go too high. So I took a lot of time, many years to overcome that issue. I was stuck in the middle. I was not able to reach the higher notes or reach the lower notes. But then after a few years of training, in Western music, I developed my vocal range. That is the biggest challenge I have faced in uh, in my journey so far. And yeah,
With many more challenges yet to come. Many more
definitely,
challenges.
definitely.
Because if you want to, climb up the order, you've got to face a lot of challenges, and that's what the best are made of. They have to, face a lot of challenges. Okay. Okay. So, like, okay, please talk us through what future looks like for you right now. What do you think about your future right now in music industry?
Um, I actually try not to think much about the future, because it it either I mean, sometimes it just gives us false beliefs or hopes, and sometimes we get too carried away, and we end up losing the present. So I try not to think about the future, and I just work for the present. I
Okay,
haven't
okay.
thought about
I'm starting to believe that you are more of an entrepreneur rather than a singer. You're giving life advices. That's great. That's great, because you should have that kind of a mindset when you're stepping into any field, right?
definitely. There's always there are perks and perks of everything. So
Exactly. I
you should
totally
always.
understand that. Exactly.